Hey, Dave from HeadGames, and we're going to talk put an oversized valve in an EVO 10. What do you do? Check it out. So the first thing I would say is don't do it, because an oversized valve in EVO 10 actually hurts flow. So that's the first thing. No matter what we've done, an oversized valve just kills flow everywhere. And we've put up to a 2mm oversized valve in one of these things. Somebody paid us to do it. They said it would work. It absolutely did not work. So first off, if you look at the exhaust side, this right here is the 45-degree angle. Can you see that color? If you go above that, that's aluminum. So this is where the OEM valve seats to. Do you see a problem with putting an oversized valve? There's not enough room. So what happens is this 45 is now resting on the cylinder head when you put an oversized valve. Now the valve seat is like a heat sink, and you're really just taking away any kind of attribute of that, and it's sitting on the aluminum, so it just doesn't work. It's a recipe for failure. The only way you can do it correctly is to put an oversized valve seat in it. So you put an oversized valve seat, and then you can put the bigger valve in it. But again, we've done this, we've flow tested it, it hurts flow everywhere. So you're gonna spend a whole bunch of money, put a whole lot of effort into something that ultimately hurts the port. So we had an instance where a world record setting car was having issues. They kept going through valve train and they couldn't figure out why. And it was brought to our attention, and they already had an oversized valve in it, and they couldn't figure out why this thing was just eating itself. So I mentioned how the valve seat is not the same size as the valve, so you would need to put a valve seat. Nobody knew this, so then they paid us to put an oversized valve seat and to put the valve in it and see what happens. And magically, the car was able to make a couple of vents without hurting any valve train. It just wasn't spitting it anymore, and that is because the valve seat is like a heat sink, so it takes heat out of the valve, and it wasn't working properly because they're putting an oversized valve in something that it just doesn't fit there. So there is no way of dissipating that heat. So we made that happen. So the actual size of this is 29.4 millimeters between this and here. So, or the circumference, I should say, it's 29.4 millimeters, and the oversized valve is 30 millimeter. And that is just simple math for people who don't believe that I am saying that this doesn't work. Now, the same can't be said for the intake valve. The intake side, actually, there is room to put an oversized valve in it, but you're going to be at the very edge. It's not as critical on the intake side, so we'll take it. But again, it's not going to flow better. It actually hurts it. It's just a bigger doorstop in your combustion chamber. So that's my tech tip for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Doodles.